lesson 1, which is proportion, and our learning outcomes are: the first one is learn the concept of proportion and write the proportion relationships, identify unproportion, non-proportion, then solve using cross multiplication and how we use graphics or graphically relationships to represent, then employ proportion in solving real-life problems. So lesson 1 is proportion. Let's start with a real-life application. Now we have Khalid visited the Cairo International Book Fair to buy a children book series for his kids. We know that the price of 3 books is 96 LE, which is Egyptian pound, and Khalid bought 18 books. How much did Khalid pay for the books? So we have 3 books, which is 96 Egyptian pound. So we need to find the price of just 1 book to know the payment method of 18 books that Khalid will buy. So let's start with dividing 96 by 3, which is to be 32. So the price of 1 book is 32 Egyptian pounds. Now Khalid bought 18 books. Let's multiply 18, which is the number of books, by 32 pounds, the price of 1 book. And it will be 576 Egyptian pound. This is the payment he will pay for 18 books. Now, also you can answer this question with other calculations or methods, but if you find it's 576, so it's right. Let's start our lesson. There are 2 persons having 2 identical rectangles. Ahmed divided his rectangle into 3 equal parts and color 2 of those parts. As you can see, here we have this rectangle. It's cut into 3 parts. Ahmed colored just 2 only. So 2 parts in math, it means fraction. So we have 2 parts out of total 3. The second person cut the rectangle into 6 parts and just color 4 only. 4 parts, as we said, parts in math means fraction. So it's 4 out of 6, or 4 over 6. To compare these 2 rectangles, we put both of them in this way. And you have to know that these 2 rectangles must be identical or the same, or we called them congruent. They means they are the same. Now these 2 rectangles, you can see that they have the same amount. So can we say that 2 over 3 is equal to 4 over 6? Let's discuss this. Now, this is the question again, is 2 over 3, is it equal to 4 over 6? Sometimes we know that we can use ratio to find another ratio. So for example, 2 over 3, it's a fraction, and we called also a ratio. You can multiply both numbers here by 2 to find it's 4 over 6. And you can also divide. If you have, for example, 160 over 2, and both numbers divisible, or you can divide both of them by 2, it's 80 out of 1. Can we say they are equal? Now this is the question we need to know. And this is called proportion. When we have 2 equal ratios, we can say it's proportion, like 2 over 3, which is equal to 4 over 6, as we said. And there are another thing, we called them rates, which is different than ratios. Why? Ratios is when we have 2 numbers related to the same thing, like parts of the rectangle, as we said before. But here we have this fraction, and these 2 amounts are different things. 80 kilometers is for distance, and 1 hour is for time. So this is called rates. 80 kilometers in 1 hour, it's equal to 160 or 160 kilometers in 2 hours. Or think in a different way, if you just finished 80 pages in 1 hour, so how many pages you'll finish in just 2 hours? It's for sure 160. So now 80 over 100, it's equal to 160 over 2. We need to know how to write proportion. As we said before, it's two fractions equal to each other, or ratios, or rates. And then here we have the quantities of the proportion, A, B, C, and D. They are called proportional quantities for sure. Now, to write proportion, you just need 4 numbers, or 4 amounts, or 4 quantities to put them in the proportion form. Now, let's talk about the parts of this proportion. The first one and the last one, they are called extremes. And the two amounts in between, they are called means.
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.